Hi everyone, welcome to Dividends, the show for and about your College of Business. Have two great guests today. One is a returning guest and one is here for the first time, and that is Courtney Rankins. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
You're a little unusual because you're going through the E-Center, but
Right.
you waited until after you graduated to come see us, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about just who you are and where you're from and that sort of thing. So where were you born and raised?
Okay, I was born and raised in Pascagoula, Mississippi, down on the coast. I graduated from Pascagoula High School in 2014, and now I am here.
So why did you choose Mississippi State?
Honestly, where I'm from, everyone thought we would either go to a junior college or USM. So I didn't want to do that. So my other option was Mississippi State and Ole Miss. My sister actually came to Mississippi State, and I don't have the perfect reason as to why I came to State, but I do know why I stayed here. Everyone here was so welcoming. They reminded me of family. Like my teachers and advisors, everyone was just so nice.
All right, so tell us the transition from studying to be a chemist or a pharmacist to you make skincare products, correct?
Right. Well, it started, a little backstory. Basically, since childhood, I've struggled with all sorts of skin conditions. Nothing ever worked for me. So last summer, my skin was the worst that it has ever been. I used a prescribed skincare product called Epiduo. It did not work for me at all. Every day I would apply it to my skin, a little pea-sized amount, but it would burn. It would burn terribly every single time. So I would go to sleep, I would cry myself to sleep because it burned so bad. And because of that, I realized there has to be some other solution, which brought me to skincare. I just did a lot of research until I realized that there was another solution, which is why I started making skincare products, such as an organic facial serum that really helped me out.
All right, so what's the name of your company?
Alumni Brand Essentials.
And you brought some of your essentials, so if you would, go ahead and let's do some show and tell.
Okay.
You can lean over and pick those up, and if you hold them in front of you steady, the camera will give the cameraman time to catch up with you. So this is?
This is the Saving Face Serum. Basically, this product started everything. It was designed to prevent acne, rid the skin of pigmentation, even those and even the skin tone. Those are all the problems that I had with my skin. So it's just made of all types of organic essential oils, carrier oils.
Let's see what else we have.
Okay.
These are all your products, right? You
Yes,
developed these.
handmade.
Okay.
I also have a charcoal and goat's milk soap bar, pink clay and oats. These are my newer soap bars that I've made.
Okay, hold them kind of steady so the cameraman doesn't go crazy following you. There you go. Okay, so you made the soap as well.
I did.
Okay, and you package these yourself?
I do. Everything I've done myself.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay. I just recently developed different facial masks. Really good for detoxifying the skin, evening the skin tone, smoothing the skin, all of that.
So, Courtney, you're like me. You talk with your hands. So all right, let me have that one. We have one, couple more. What do we have?
I just recently also launched different body oils, multi-purpose body oils with different botanicals in it.
Very nice. All right.
And exfoliators, sugar exfoliators. These are really good for removing dead skin cells. So yeah.
And so last week you participated, or recently you participated in our Startup Summit. So you
Yes.
pitched in front of a pretty nice panel of VIP judges.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, that was my first time ever pitching, ever competing. I've pitched twice with the E-Center. That went pretty good also. But as far as actually competing and actually winning, that was a feeling like no other. I did not expect to win, but I did. And everyone was so enthusiastic, they were supportive, and that made me want to actually strive for more.
So how much did you win?
I won $2,000.
And how do you plan to use that money?
Basically, more ingredients. Anything organic is not really cheap. So I need ingredients, supplies. I would like to buy a label maker because I've waited so long with different companies to actually create them for me.
Right.
So I really need a label maker and different packaging jars, bottles, things of that sort.
And you're looking to get this in, you work at Kroger here in Starkville now, and you're working to get this on the shelves, and they have been helpful and encouraging as well, right?
Yes, sir. I'm looking to get my products in Kroger, maybe even Whole Foods. But as of right now, my main focus is Kroger, since I do work there, so I can check on those, check on those products.
And where do you think you would be if you hadn't walked through the doors of the E-Center?
Lost. I would be extremely lost. After I realized that I didn't want to go to pharmacy school, I didn't know what I was going to do. And that's kind of depressing to know that I've spent all this time getting those prereqs for pharmacy school, but yet I have no plan. So I'm extremely grateful to have gone to the E-Center, and I had a pretty great mentor, Madison.
Yeah, we're going to talk with her in just a minute. Well, look, we're very, very proud of you. We wish you'd come into the E-Center earlier, but the good news is you got there, and we are going to keep an eye on you and just let you chart your success. So thanks for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to take a break. Be back with more in just a moment.
So you have an idea. It's exciting, it's original, it's genius, and you think it could be the next big thing. But how do you turn this idea into reality? At the Entrepreneurship Center, we will guide you through every step of the entrepreneurial process and help along the way, from developing and enhancing your idea to building your product and bringing it to market. Our programs will help refine your idea and connect you with other creative individuals. You can collaborate with students and discover their brilliant ideas, learn from expert faculty and accomplished business leaders, and even receive money to expand your venture and start your own company. Whether your idea is a revolutionary product, app, or service, we can help. The Entrepreneurship Center at Mississippi State University. From invention to innovation, it starts here.
There are a number of student activities that students can get involved with, but few of them know that they can start a company while they're in school. We want students to consider that when they come to school here, they have 4 years to create themselves a job, create a new venture, and that's really what the center's here to provide. We're here to provide the resources, connections, and programs that can help them start a company. The background of our students is extremely diverse. All across campus, students are getting involved, forming these companies, and people, all sorts of different backgrounds, coming together to create these startups that are just doing amazing things. Regardless of where you're at in the entire startup process, whether you're coming in with a fresh idea, already have an established company, or just are trying to get interested in entrepreneurship, we want to put students in a position where they feel encouraged and supported to pursue their passions so they can make an impact no matter what field or industry they go into.
Welcome back, everyone. Joining us now, no stranger to the E-Center or dividends. Madison Grant is here, and gosh, it seems like such a long time ago where you just walked in the E-Center and wanted to start a coffee business, and now you are making custom coffee for the president. You're selling your coffee in the union. Give us a quick update.
Right, so a lot has changed since I was on dividends. It's been about a year. Since then, we really got into the process of roasting coffee beans and have had the opportunity to sell out of the Idea Shop downtown, which has been just a great avenue for sales, but also being able to sell our product on Main Street. And then we also began a partnership with Aramark, who controls all the food and beverages sold on campus. And now we sell out of the State Fountain Bakery. So if you go to the State Fountain Bakery, they've revamped it. It's in the back of the Union. Delicious MSU dairy, MSU ice cream, baked goods, freshly made beautiful cakes, and then our coffee is there ready to be sold in a brewed hot cup of coffee.
Well, and you've done such a good job, and you've impressed us so much with just you, who you are, that we've hired you to work in the E-Center. And what Madison does is mentor folks who are just walking through the door thinking of starting their own business. And it takes a special kind of person, a special touch to be encouraging and yet, tell them, look, you've got to put the work in, right? So what has that been like for you?
Well, it's been a learning process to really know how to treat everybody. And what I've learned is that everyone responds differently to what I say. So if somebody comes in and they are very, very quiet and passive, I have to be on their level and speak to them on their level and say, hey, how's it going? But if someone is so energetic and excited to start a business, I'm right there with them. I'm excited, I see their vision. And so I've had to learn how to adapt. But I think it's really important that everyone who walks in feels welcomed by what we do and knows that they're always welcome to be a part of the Entrepreneurship Center and that we're there to help them and guide them and teach them. But in no way do I sugarcoat the process and tell them this is going to be the easiest thing. I always try to give them a heads up and say, hey, this is a long process that you're about to embark on, but it's the most rewarding thing you'll ever be a part of.
And you not only are helping college kids, you've mentored some high school kids, correct? For the Innovation Challenge.
Right.
And I know from the pitch competitions we've done with high schools in the past that the feedback we get is their favorite part is when a college kid pays attention to their idea and takes them seriously. So what has that been like?
Well, it's been really fun to work and get to know some of the local high school students because I'm not from Starkville, so I don't really know anybody. So last year I mentored 2 high school juniors, girls. They ended up getting second in the competition. Well, they came back and they brought 2 more team members, and so I've been able to mentor them for a new idea that they're working on. And it's just really important to me that they see the opportunity that they have before them and just getting experience in the entrepreneurial world. They're most likely not going to pursue this after high school, and that's okay. They're going off to college and going to do really big things on their universities, but it's important to me that they see the opportunities that we have at Mississippi State, but that I'm also just able to help them in everything that they do.
All right, so you're graduating. And what does the future hold for you and Jitterbeans?
Right, so Jitterbeans, the plan is to now focus on a subscription model. So this will be more of an educational process for the consumer. So basically, a consumer could order a box of our coffee, but each box is certain to a type of brew. And whenever they get their box, they are able to learn how to brew their coffee at home in order to save money, make it more convenient, but also to kind of go against the stereotype of a coffee shop. So people may not like me for saying this, but I've found that I don't feel welcomed in certain coffee shops. And I don't think anyone should have to feel that way just if they're walking in to get a cup of coffee. I think everyone should know that they deserve and they're able to be a part of the coffee world. And so what we're kind of latching on to is that emotion, but also teaching them of like the, hey, be your own barista type element. Right. And we always say be your own boss in the entrepreneurship world, so we've taken a spin off of that to be your own barista.
All right, well, we hope to keep you around with us because you are smart and you are caring and you've been a real help to our student entrepreneurs, and we've loved having you here and appreciate you coming on and giving us an update.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for this edition of Dividends. We appreciate you watching. See you next time.